Good evening, Sim World. Welcome to the Liberty Grounds in Philadelphia, where Ill-a-delphia taking on Beasts of the East tonight. Should be a good East Coast matchup between these rivals. Both looking to make their case for the race to one coming up later this year. Behind the mic, you've got my own good self, Lava, and I am joined by Siege. Siege, let's tip this thing off.
Absolutely, let's get it rolling. I'm excited to see this Ill-a-delphia with a tough loss last night. I'll be looking for them to do a little bit better on the defensive glass, putting bodies on guys. Fortunately, they match up a little bit better with the size of Beasts of the East, who are also a little undersized than they did with Gotham, but I think that's going to be a big key for them tonight is can they control that glass?
Well, there's going to be another big key for them. How is Nas Hall, their spark plug, going to play? And off to a great start, buries that three.
He's electric. I still think he's gotten his due more and more throughout the season, but he is still underrated in my book.
Well, here's going to be the matchup to look at, and it's Redmond gets a bucket back. Reed Redmond probably going to go up against Nas Hall head-to-head in a good portion of this game. That should be entertaining to watch. Oh, but look at that pass there. Couldn't get the finish, however.
And that's going to be an interesting matchup, too, inside with Jermaine Owens, who's a little newer with Levin Cutler.
Well, Murray and Goodyear attacking the rack there. Gives Beast their first lead, but look at this, a foul on Singleton. Offensive. Going back the other way.
And that's something that we know about Ill-a-delphia Elite. They play a little bit reckless at times, and a lot of times that contributes good things to their defense. But I think BCEs are going to look to take advantage of that when they're driving to the lane.
Redmond gets a clean look, but he can't get the shot to go. Reed Redmond, leading scorer for Beast of the East, at 14.4 a game, and eating up Nas Hall right now. Hall works around him, attacks the rack and gets the bucket. That's just a strong, tough move right there.
And he's on a mission tonight after that loss last night. He is not going to go out easy on this one.
He's a solid player, 6'3", 200-pounder. There's a nice little answer back attack. Dean Porter Jr. with his first bucket of the game, and Beast of the East back up by one again.
And KPJ is a guy I'm going to be looking out for more and more.
I was just going to say, I know that you, Siege, are a KPJ fan. You're expecting big things from that player.
I really am. I think he's got the skill set. I think he's done a really good job since he's come on, and he's just kind of that offensive spark plug he can be at times, you know?
Well, finds Cutler down low there, and a bucket. KPJ getting the assist. 3-point lead now for Beast of the East. Once again, Redmond out there on Hall at the top.
And there's only a handful of guys who can hit a drop step as well as Levin Cutler can.
For sure, the big man for Beast of the East, Levin Cutler. Averaging 14.3 a game to go with 8.1 rebounds. But here, it's Redmond. Oh, gives it up to Cutler. Has his shot swatted away. That is Marcus Lofton. 6'9" defender.
You know what? I love that matchup too with Jojo Kearney against Marcus Lofton out there. They're both great defenders, very athletic, run the floor. Kind of similar players in a sense, but good matchups across the board in this one.
Beast of the East 16-9 coming into this game. Their popular pick. Make a race to one run at the end of the season. Here is a deep look from Hall, but he can't get that to go. Philly, on the other hand, has been a little bit up and down. They're 9-14. They've lost their last two. You mentioned that tough loss they just had the other night. Oh, pretty bucket there. Extends the lead now to 10-5. They've doubled them up here early on, the road team.
Yeah, that loss last night was big. One, just for momentum purposes. Two, I mean, they've got 9 wins. The team in 8th for the race to one is sitting with 12. It puts them a little farther out of the race. They're going to have to be perfect throughout the rest of the season to have a chance.
Cutler showing off his running ability there. Got down court in front of everybody, and it turned into an easy dunk. Philly outside of 5 points from Nas Hall. Ending it tough offensively. Start of this game. We'll want to remind everybody to catch us on the post-up between games. Post up is where you'll hear us talk about SimWorld. Actually, let me ask my producer here, who do we have on the post up tonight? A little info for y'all. Maestro running the show. Well, that is always entertaining. I am telling you that Dos Equis guy has nothing on our very own Maestro. He might be the most interesting person in the world. So you're going to want to stick around for that after this one. And actually want to remind everybody, too, doubleheader tonight. Next game coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be Best Coast versus Indy. So stick around for that after this one and after the post-up. A lot of basketball yet to go here in our opening game, though. But Philly, home crowd pretty quiet so far. Not much doing for them. Once again, Nas Hall gets a little bit of space, but he can't get the shot to drop.
And he's on a mission tonight. He's just putting up shots.
Well, he's been the offense. The problem is that's left him in a 7-point hole here early on. And look at this. Just an athletic move right there. Impressive from Marion Goodyear. 6 foot, 480-pounder, and he's got 4 early in this game.
Ill-a-delphia is looking a little bit rattled to start this game. Their defense does not look how we're used to seeing it look. There's a good bucket, though.
There's a good bucket. Finally gets him back in the scoring column. Football score here, 14-7 with 3:40 to go, first quarter. Again, just way too open. Redmond can't finish it. Hall had to foul him right there. Good foul by Hall. Send Redmond to the line.
And that's another thing Levin Cutler has in his bag. That they're a handful of bigs who do that well. He's very good at finding his teammates on cuts, backdoor screens, anything like that. He's good at facilitating from the post. So he's a very all-around kind of big.
Throw from Redmond is good. Reed Redmond, the Hagerstown, Maryland. Mentioned earlier, he's averaging 14.4 a game, and he's got 43 threes under his belt so far this season, being recruited by Kentucky, Providence, and also Maryland, where he could join last year's SimWorld Player of the Year, King Cross. CKC decides to play a sophomore season.
Yeah, and I mean, he'll be a great addition to any of those teams that he decides to go to. I kind of like the fit for him up at Providence, to be honest, but could see him playing out at Kentucky. We'll see.
You can see him as a Big East player for sure. Well, Nas Hall continues to gun it, but he's not getting it to go, and he's not getting a lot from his teammates here. And on the defensive end, Philly just being able to close that off, but I feel like they're just a little bit late almost every time after a missed shot coming back down the court. Redmond steps back. Pretty.
Oh. I mean, he had the open lane, could have driven that one, but he wanted to disrespect the Ill-a-delphia elite with that step back. That was disgusting.
East looking like they just want to take this game by the throat early on, getting it done on both ends. Nothing doing for Philly.
Well, I think if I'm going to be honest, I think it has a little bit to do with Beast of the East and Gotham 5, who went to 16-7 after beating Ill-a-delphia last night, and Gotham 5 gave Ill-a-delphia fits. I think, if anything, this could also be kind of a who can do it better kind of situation. Beast of the East says we can run it up on little brother Ill-a-delphia also. So I think they kind of want to show out tonight.
You're telling me this is a statement game, and Philly has the misfortune of being the piece of paper the statement is written on.
That they do.
Well, once again, Nas Hall, it's a shot off. This time he gets it to go in. Nas Hall started the year on the bench. Coach Drees Williams, it's been up and down for him. It's been up and down for Philly all season, but he did insert him into the starting lineup. But Philly needs to find some defense. They got to start by stopping that man. For Reed Redmond is going off early in this one.
Someone go grab the fire extinguisher. I just want to have it next to us just in case, because I'm thinking there's a fire warning here, because he is on fire.
Lon Singleton has the ball now. He's the athletic captain of the side, and waiting for him to make his statement in this game. But so far, not much from him or Darian King across, little brother of Cooper. Shot there won't go. Rebound battled around. Redmond ends up with it. Too much beasts in every capacity right now. 24-9, a 15-point lead as we're approaching 1 minute to go here in what has been a disaster of an opening quarter. Coach Drees Williams and his Philly squad.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Philly's identity is really two main things. One, their defense is getting out running, and two, Nas Hall, and right now, they do not look like themselves.
Tough shot won't go. Redmond pulls down the rebound. He's been doing it all. PJ sets things up, under 10 on the shot clock now, into the hands of Redmond. He's going to attack. Oh, look at that. Beautiful pass. Nice finish, too, to get it over the eighth defender. Leonidas Wright gets a bucket. This lead just continues to grow. Oh, Nas Hall with three defenders on him. Got the ball back there. Was able to reset the dribble even. Tough shot. Once again, won't go. Once again, no second chance. Will be a final shot here coming from Beasts. And APJ is going to get it up. Can't get it to fall. Look at that. Redmond back up. Did he beat the shot clock? Oh, well, look at that. Hall called for the foul. His second insult to injury. What a train wreck.
Yeah,
wow.
if I'm Ill-a-delphia, I'm immediately getting. Look, I would have done this a little earlier in the season, but there's no reason that Orland Mock, when you're playing a guy of Fareed Redmond's caliber on the perimeter, that you don't have Orland Mock starting defending him. He's a top tier perimeter defender, and that's something I think you got to use to your advantage, especially when you're playing a guy who's definitely top 15, but arguably a top 10 perimeter. Not arguably, he's a top 10 perimeter player in the league. And you have a guy who is a top 5 perimeter defender in the league. You got to have him on him.
28-9 is how this quarter ends. Beast with a huge lead on the road. Statement game indeed. 3 quarters to go, though, and a lot of basketball to be played. Come right back. And we'll bring it back here to the Liberty Grounds. Well, this game was billed as a war between two tough East Coast teams, a battle between Nas Hall and Fareed Redmond, and right now, Redmond's winning the battle. He scored 12. Nas Hall has 7, but much more importantly, Beasts are crushing it in the war. They're up 28-9, and they have possession as we start the second quarter.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody in Philly is going to be ringing that bell tonight. But hey, a lot of ball to be played. You never know.
Well, a little bit brighter start there. Bucket wouldn't go, and Cutler a little bit too hard with his shot. Philly a chance to start to chip into this lead, but their jumper won't fall either. Eric Busk out there on the court right now. Some subs in the game, both teams.
Oh, good steal. There you go.
Yep. Little hesitation work there. What an intelligent play. Not only hit the bucket, but pick up the foul. That's Khalil Erickson, and you shouldn't be surprised to see heady play from him. He's a SimWorld veteran, played for EC Stars last year, now run DMV, and averaging 6.2 off the bench for this Philly squad this year, and he's been a valuable addition, and showing you why with plays like that.
Yeah, very athletic, long, great defender, can run the floor well, and like you said, veteran, make the smart plays.
Well, let's see if that sparks Philly a little bit here, or maybe it'll wake Beasts up. Wanting to coast on a comfortable 1.19-point lead. Good defense there, too, from Erickson, but shots just there, too. Falling in for Beasts tonight. This time, Rudy Show with the bucket.
Hugs and kisses there.
Hugs and kisses, Cootie. Nice pass up ahead from Busk, and nice finish there. Busk and Wright. Might have been working on that one in practice. 20-point lead. Almost a turnover as well.
Got his hand in the cookie jar, almost grabbed one. Come on.
Did. Well, the rare ball bounced the right way for Philly tonight. Slofton's still out there, and he gives it up. Oh, and just dribbled off of his foot right there, I think Show did.
And that's Isaiah James Doc.
That was Isaiah James.
Excuse me. Affectionately known as Doc Ock in the locker room. He's got 8 arms on defense, they say. He's their primary perimeter defender, and there he is with another one.
Well, that's twice Show's ended up on the wrong side of that, but look at the defense from Lofton. Another block for him. Team's going up and down the court here. I don't think Philly is giving up on this yet, but they cannot keep the handle on the ball.
That's Doc Ock with his 3rd steal in the last minute of game time. He's going to want to steal for every one of those arms he's got.
And that time Leonidas Wright gave it up, but able to catch and break. No further damage done. Here they come on the offensive end. The turnaround won't go.
And I wonder as we get into kind of like postseason, so some cookies on the other side too, and that's Khalil Erickson again.
Didn't get his shot to fall, however. We've been frozen at 32 for 12 for a minute now. Chance to change that here, and a foul to boot. Erickson got him on the way up.
And one.
Leonidas Wright, 6'3", 210-pounder. He's out at Lawrenceville, Delaware. Averaging just 4.4 points a game, but, part of this East's Coach Assad Drayton strategy of just kind of hitting you with waves of lengthy, athletic basketball players.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I'm kind of wondering when it comes to this Isaiah James, Doc Ock as he's known as, when they get into the race to one and you start looking at playing teams who have those superstar players, I think we're going to see him get more and more minutes on the court. Ooh, and one, baby.
Well, little highlight at least there for Philly. Dylan Mock, not known as a scorer, known more as a defender and distributor. Actually, he leads SimWorld Hoops in steals. He averages 1.3 a game, but chance to make a contribution on the offensive end here, but Philly still unable to get in gear, really, on offense. And really not getting it done on either end of the court very well so far tonight.
Yeah, it's they're going to need a big second half for this to turn into a competitive one.
Busk, he's got Mock on him, and he comes up with the steal. I'm sorry, that wasn't Mock on that one.
Indy Cross.
That was Beanie Cross. She used to call on Orland Mock picking up steals.
Great dish.
Busk with a nice pass. Yep, nice finish, too. Hootie Zoe. Camden, New Jersey. He's averaging almost 8 points a game since he's joined this squad.
Definitely a great pickup. Another guy right there, kind of in that middle height range at 6'4". Got length. He's athletic. They got a lot of those guys. They got a lot of guys who are kind of could play the 3, could play the 4, the very small ball lineup. But I mean, they're a small team in the overarching story of things. Both of their big men, Levin Cutler and JoJo Kearney, only 6'9", and then the next biggest guy on their roster is like I was mentioning, that slew of 6'4" guys. They got about 4 or 5 of them on this roster.
Shot there won't go. Yeah, reminds me a little bit. Oh, diving DKC right there, but didn't save it. It's going to go over to Beast. Scary thing with Beast, by the way, too, is there are only 3 upperclassmen, just 3 17-year-olds on the squad. Now, Edmund is one of them, and he'll certainly be missed, but you're talking about bringing back KPJ, Hootie, JoJo Kearney, Isaiah James, Levin Cutler. I mean, this future's bright.
Yeah, and with this whole season under their belt and then a whole extra off season under their belt, this team will be right in the same place next year, if I had to guess, of being one of the top teams heading into the playoffs.
Oh, good defense, but couldn't quite get there in time. Jermaine Owens. 8 points and 8 rebounds. Leading rebounder on Philly with that bucket. Ooh. Oh, nice KJP. Nice KJP, or a KPJ-ish there. 24-point advantage for Beasts.
He's got that in his bag. He can dish. He can score. I think we're going to see him have a much bigger role on this team next year. Ooh.
Well, you know who that is. Oz Hall. He's going to get his a little bit. It's just not been nearly enough. Yeah, Singleton also back out there for Philly now, starting backcourt.
You're going to need a lot more from the starting backcourt right now.
Owens gets it to DKC. Swings it back to Hall and quickly gives it back to Owens. But it's in Hall's hands. We're coming up on 5 seconds on the shot clock. Going to take the little pull-up jumper, way short on that.
And this Philly crowd is not engaged in this game at all, and I can't say I blame them right now.
Yeah, I don't really blame them for leaving at this point. Philly not showing a whole lot of signs of life, although caught a tiny break not having that bucket fall there. Trying to do something here a little in transition, but look at that. Yeah, Redmond kind of playing, or JoJo Kearney, excuse me.
And Guinea Cross, that's a player that I would like to see get a little bit more playing time for this team. I mean, we're talking about 6'6" wing, very long, lanky, good scorer, good defender. He's just a little bit rough around the edges, I think. But you kind of get him going, get a little bit more minutes for him, kind of get him a little more in the flow of the game. I think he could be a much more valuable piece for this team than what he's being used as.
Oh, bench piece for Beast, just with a nice move there. Leonidas Wright, offensive rebound and patient work to get the second shot back up and in. He's only 6'3", 210, but again, with this wave of these big 6'3", 6'4" athletic players for Beast, he kind of almost plays like a post player at times out there. Well, the lead's been cut down from what it was, 24. It is still a 20-point advantage here for Beast. It looks like they're going to settle for, or try to take it down for one shot. Slight difference between game clock and shot clock. That won't go. Is there enough time here for Philly to get something off? No, they're just
not even going to try.
You know what? I think they couldn't wait to get into the locker room, pretend that half didn't happen, see if maybe, if I'm the coach in this game, if I'm in charge of Philly, if I'm Dries, I think I say, look, it's a 16-minute game now. It's 0-0 starting the second half because it's a big hole to dig out of against a really solid Beast team who came to play tonight, Siege.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about this one other than they don't look great. I mean, Beast of the East came out. They're playing their game. Everyone's contributing on that side. Fareed Redmond had a huge first quarter, really set the tone. We saw KPJ, contributing. We saw hugs and kisses contributing. Leonidas Wright even got some of his. Levin Cutler did his usual thing. Bust with some assists. Total team effort from that side. And from Ill-a-delphia, I think it would be rude to even mention it. They're having a bad night. It happens. It happens.
Nas Hall with 9, but not been a very good night really for him or anybody on the home squad. Come back, second half action when we return to Philly.
And to make it 2-possession game, and they will.
Definitely gonna have to look elsewhere.
Oh!
Point lead for Beast of the East. They come out with the ball here. Reed Redmond leading the way. He has the ball right here. Pointer won't go. Well, folks, I'm not going to kid you. Unless we start to see a lot more of this from Nas Hall and compatriots. This hasn't been much of a game so far, but I'm going to remind everybody we got a next game coming up tonight. Should be a good one. Best Coast, always fun to watch Best Coast, and LDEO getting a lot of talk for Player of the Year nomination. Taking on a tough Indy squad. I always like calling the Indy Stripe Siege, and you're going to be calling the late game with me. We're going to have to take the aisle. I like the window. Okay, so when we take the SeaWorld jet to get over, yeah, I'm a window guy.
That's no problem. We'll make sure that we have a safe flight. That's all that matters.
That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing as always. But Best Coast versus Indy. Who you got in that one?
I mean, I got Best Coast. I know that, and we've talked about this, we're both fans of Indy and what we think they could be. And what I am really excited for is to watch two bona fide superstars in LDO and Benari James go at each other. Two guys that not just you're sure they'll get theirs, but you know that they're going to get theirs. So if nothing else, we'll get to watch those two trade baskets. And you never know Indy. They can come out looking like a great team like they do every once in a while. You just don't know what Indy team you're going to get. So whether we get a great game or a game more like this, we're definitely going to get to watch two of the superstars of the league trade buckets. So it should be a fun one.
Only one way to find out. Well, Quan Singleton heads to the line.
Excuse me. Is Quan Singleton rocking the New Balances? Those aren't even those are the New Balance like running shoes.
Just like
those are like
just casual wear. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. I'll talk to my producer here on the IFR when we get a second. See if we can't maybe get a little bit of info on the Quan Singleton footwear.
Those are like what they make like freshmen wear in colleges. Those are like I've never seen someone wear those on a basketball court. Good for him.
Well, Quan Singleton can probably play barefoot. Be pretty competitive out there. He is a high level athlete. Hasn't gotten a lot of chance to show it tonight, but Philadelphia has come out here. They've tightened up the defense. Beast of the East scoreless so far. And this could be a 7-point run. It is. Look at Quan get up in those shoes.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Ring the bell. Ring that Liberty Bell. Here they come.
Lead is down to 13. Kind of the most interesting, let's say, moment of the game for some time now. Little jumper won't go once again. No second chance opportunity. And with 3 here, Beast could even cut this lead to 10. Ooh, I thought Nas was maybe going to take that up in the corner.
It would not have surprised me if he decided to pull that one.
I think everybody in the gym expected it, Siege. Instead, shot clock winding down here. And it gets in Singleton's hands. He's going to take a jumper. Can't get that to go, but look at that. Nice rebound by Lofton. Life for Philly on this possession. Singleton, once again, he's gotten aggressive here, but couldn't get it down that possession on 2 attempts. Oh, tough foul and a tougher bucket. AJ Frost absolutely clobbered him. Wow. APJ, though, too much too strong, and he gets a chance to complete a 3-point play here.
That's tough. I'm telling you, I really think that come next year, without a Fareed Redmond as kind of the bona fide star of this team, we're going to see KPJ really elevate his game.
Free throw is good. Maybe. Coach Drayton, the Beasts fans, and the crowd here tonight can breathe a little bit easier as that ends. It's been a nice Philly start to this third quarter, but look at this. Nice drive. Oh, just way too strong there, though. I think he had to switch to the left hand.
Yeah, I couldn't quite finish that one off, but good take.
KPJ has it. Well, he's going to pull for the jumper there, but he can't get it to go. Look at that second opportunity, though.
And Ill-a-delphia fans are having flashbacks to last night where they gave up 20-plus second chance points.
Oh, Win Cutler. Coming over on defense now, Cutler, and he did enough to put him off, but gets the rebound. Oh, going back up with it.
Oh,
once
another board.
Again. Wow. What a persistent, tough play from Orland Mock. 6'2" Mock down there battling with the trees to get 3 cracks at it.
Hey, third time's the charm, that's what they say.
Well, Redmond gets it. He's actually been quiet for some time now. Little leading scorer looking to add to that total, and he does. Wow.
There it is. He heard you.
Love Redmond's game. Love the haircut, which reminds me of like a late 70s, early 80s Prince. Nice dish from Mock. Defenders converge on that, however. Might have been a foul there. Nothing called. Nice dish. Nice finish.
With the nice dish.
Well, there you are, seeing the future in action, Beast. Isaiah, Doc Ock James feeding Team Porter Jr. there.
Look, I don't want to harp on the future too much, but that is going to be one hell of a backcourt next year for this Beast of the East team with Isaiah James and KPJ.
For a team as young as they are, they feel like the future is now, too. 16 wins, looking to make it 17 tonight. They are back in control of this one, up again by 20 as we approach the 3-minute mark, third quarter. Not a great looking shot there. Joe, hard off the backboard. Joe has hit on 8 threes so far this season. Stays out on the floor as Wright and Eric Busk re-enter the game for biggest.
I love the tunes they got here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, the Liberty Grounds is a great facility. It's just been a poor game from the home team tonight, and Eric Busk making it a little bit worse. Nice dish. Shogun trying to finish, but he can't there.
A little hasty on that one, but you got to lead. Do what you please.
When you're down by 20, you just got to do you. That's every coach's mantra, Siege. Oh yeah. Well, Marcus Lofton is not a preferred offensive option, and showed you there why.
The move's
nice dish. Great finish. Evan Cutler. Quietly having a pretty nice night, the big man. 6'9", 215-pounder out of Delaware. He is a strong Indiana Hoosier lead, but Wichita State and other schools also involved for his services this season. Second foul on Busk is going to send Philly to the line. Alika Matson, 6'9", 205-pounder out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
He's the guy who it could be really useful if he kind of found a bigger role with this team. Like we said, they're a pretty undersized team with Marcus Lofton and Jermaine Owens being the only 6'9" guys on the team. He stands at 6'8", like you said. They could use the big depth is all I'm saying. So that's the guy I would look to really step up his game.
I want to remind everybody that SimWorld TV is going to be back tomorrow. Back on the air, back in action. We're going to be kicking things off. Oh, I'm sorry. No, there are no games tomorrow. Apologies. We have the day off. But there are a bunch more games tonight. One more televised. I already told you me and C's are going to be back calling that one. 9 o'clock Eastern, Best Coast. But big games going on too. Lone Star versus the North. Gulf Coast bad boys. So make sure on our Discord, discord.gg/SimWorldNBA to follow the results there. As we head back to the line here in this one. Leonidas Wright at the line. What a nice night tonight Wright is.
He's got a very interesting free throw for him.
He really does.
He looks like Sean Marion out there. He's shooting the ball from his chest.
That's a great comp. That's a great basketball cultural reference right there. I always thought he was going to here's another one. Rick Mount underhand it, But yeah, watch that form here. Yeah, he just kind of shot puts it. Well, it was effective the second time around, and it's that one to drop.
Hey man, whatever works for you. You got Jeremy Sohan for the Spurs now, shooting the one-handed free throws, bringing that back. So I mean, whatever's gonna put the ball in the basket for you, that's what you got to do.
Well, there has been a paucity of ball putting in basket tonight from Philadelphia. Have to make this crowd feel ill. In fact, I got to give them some credit for sticking around through this one.
Well, I'm pretty sure that if you stay the whole game, you get 20% off a Philly cheesesteak at the shop next door. So I think that's how they get them to.
All right.
I'll be heading over that way since we obviously will be here the whole game.
I haven't had one in a while, and I have to admit a Philly cheesesteak is a classic. Here's one thing. Do you do anything on your Siege? Are you in onions or even mushroom? I've seen guys do mushroom. Oh, boy, that was a nice block there from Busk. What guard squat one? I don't want to call that out. To the more important thing, do you any kind of veggie on top in addition for you? Where do you stand?
To be honest, it really depends, but I'm usually just I don't mess with the additions because I know Philly makes great cheesesteaks, but for me, it's way simpler. There's less room for error when you just get the simple Philly cheesesteak. I've had Philly cheesesteaks where I got the extra little veggies and stuff, and I didn't like the way they cooked them, and it ruined it for me. So
Peppers too, right? You can get peppers on them. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yep.
Onions. Some sautéed onion in there, I think, is all right.
Yeah, and if I trust the place, I've been there before, and I trust their craft, absolutely. But if it's a place I've never been, I might have to go with the simple.
Nas Hall back on the board. He's not going to like his shooting line tonight, but he's going to be up around his scoring average most likely when this is over. Eric Busk, wow, getting it done. He had that impressive block just a minute ago and buries that three. End the quarter. 22-point advantage for the road team. Beasts of the East all over Philly here in this one. There's 8 minutes to go. Oh, do you believe in miracles? Probably not, but come back and find out. And we are back, fourth quarter just about to get underway. And Siege, I wanted to apologize a little bit to the man with the ball right now. I said that Nas Hall not having the best night, and it's actually not true. If he makes this, well, he doesn't, but he's still just 6 for 12 now. He hasn't been that inefficient. That foul is going to send really to the line, but 14 points for Nas, tied game high with Redmond, but Leonidas Wright off the bench, 12 points for him tonight. Impressive.
Yeah, he's looking good, and again, just another one of those in the 6'3", 6'4" range, kind of athlete, good defenders that this Beast of the East team has to boast. It's just a very kind of versatile game plan. They do the small ball thing really well, and I only say it's small ball because, they're too big, they're a little undersized, but both very talented. JoJo Kearney, great defender. Levin Cutler, all-around great player. And then next to those two, they've got just a bunch of 6'3", 6'4", elite defenders. The identity they built for themselves is one of the better ones in the league.
Cho has the ball, gives it up. And KPJ drives across the lane. He's going to try to take it over the taller defender and just worked Lofton on that one. Super soft touch from the guard there to get over the 6'9" big man. Owens aggressive to the hoop, and Kearney fouls again. That's his third.
Second. And at the line for your Ill-a-delphia elite,
Jermaine Owens is just 16 years old, 6'9", 235-pounder out of Queens.
I do really like Jermaine Owens' game. I think he's young, he's raw, but despite what we've seen this game, he does have a decent offensive bag. I think he's got the tools to be a really good big, a good defender, runs the floor well. Not having the best game tonight, but none of this Ill-a-delphia team is. I do really like his potential for the future.
As his size is obvious, and you're getting a good look at him right there. Big kid for a 16-year-old. Yes, but he also has really quick hands. He actually is among the top 10 in Simwo. Can get that free throw to go there. Oh, fighting for the rebound, and it is going to stay. Ill-a-delphia ball. They're saying that Redmond touched it last. But yeah, he's in the top 10 in steals, actually, in SimWorld, which is impressive from a big man. Or the mock.
And I believe he's top 10 in rebounds as well.
Well, it hasn't been a very good night tonight, obviously, for Philly, but they too, relatively young. Jermaine Owens, Orlin Mock, Lika Matson, and AJ Frost, along with Malik Ali, all coming back next year.
Yeah, they're going to need to find an offensive identity with Nas Hall leaving, though.
JoJo Kearney able to swat that shot, but not able to keep it inbounds, and it stays with Philly. Just a half second on the shot clock, however. See if they can get a shot off before the buzzer sounds. Don't think it's going to affect the final outcome much with 21 points and nothing there. We're going to take a quick break. 6:55 to go in the fourth quarter. 21-point lead for Beasts of the East.
Substitution for the floor.
Still some time to go here. Philly cut the lead to 13 in the third quarter. And thought we might get back to a tighter ball game at that point, but Beasts just kind of getting back control since then. Shot and knocked out of bounds, swatted away by Marcus Lofton. I think that's 5 blocks for Lofton in this game. I also think he is yet to score. Not an offensive weapon, as came up earlier in the broadcast.
All right, E. So we've obviously got time here with this game being as it is. So I want to pose to you the question. Little NBA talk here. Where's James Harden headed, do you think?
Oh boy. I mean, it's a good question. I have to say, there's rumors that the Knicks are interested. As something of a Knick fan, I have to say that while I don't think I would love that, it does feel like a very Knick thing to do.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see that. Also rumblings, talking about like the feel-good story of a, heartwarming homecoming back in Houston. So, maybe they're with those younger players too.
I know a few guys in Houston who would just love to have James Harden back. So,
well, we could get a little GoFundMe, and you could have Harden back.
I know.
Now you're a Bucks fan. You're a Bucks fan, correct?
I am a Bucks fan. I would take Harden if we could, get him for like a Grayson Allen and maybe a Jay Crowder package. But I'm not willing to give up Drew Holiday or Chris Middleton for him.
Okay, interesting. Now, do you think you can keep Middleton around? Is the bigger question, right?
I hope so. Because I think when I talk to a lot of Bucks fans, what they don't understand is, one, nobody can come up with a better replacement if we lose Middleton than Middleton. That's a realistic acquisition. And two, I think people don't understand that if he doesn't re-sign with us, we can't really use that cap space. That's not how it works. We either get Middleton or we have a lot less money to spend. We can spend more money on Middleton than we can on anyone else. So, to me, I hope he comes back. If not, we're going to have to figure something out. But it's not like there's anyone who realistically could fill that hole better than he could, that we could actually acquire.
Deej, I like that analysis, but back here in this game, we have something going on, and it's certainly not the final outcome that's in doubt. But on the last 2 possessions, Marcus Lofton has had 2 more blocks. I believe he's on 7 now. We might have double-double watch going on for a player who hasn't scored and may not be likely to in this game.
Well, let's see if he can match Nick Hugo's 11 from the other night.
We need to get a few more chances. Foul here on Cutler. Go the other way.
That's his first.
We're going to take a quick break. 4:02 to go in this game.
Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or
Still to be happy about.
you're up 2-0?
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Hey, I want to remind you all that there is more action coming up tonight. We got the post-up after this game. One and only Maestro behind the mic. Always some interesting tales. I always learn something. You will too. And then following that, when Siege and I take the plane over, we're going to be on the West Coast where we got Best Coast at home. They are playing the always dangerous, mercurial even, I would say, Indy Stripes.
I'm excited for that one, E. I know we both love Indy, regardless of which Indy shows up.
Well, it's all that talent there. I mean, you got, the James brothers. You've got Novajovic, who's very good. We've seen some great games from him. Even their big men, Towns Romanowski and Robert McGee, they don't always have big nights, but they're capable of it. Yeah, I always look forward to seeing Indy on the lineup when I'm calling a game because I expect to be entertained.
Entertained for sure, no matter what. And on the other side, we have a really entertaining team as well. So I am quite excited for that matchup, and I'm excited for our plane ride over.
I think Philly is excited to get on the bus and, well, they don't have a bus ride, I guess, to go home, but just to head to their own respective homes here in the area. I've been stuck, by the way, on 39 points for some time now. We find out from my producer 41, so they only have to get one more bucket to at least not set a new low score mark for some World Hoops this year.
Lofton is I thought Lofton was
no, Lofton committed the foul there.
I'm not going to be too surprised if they don't get another basket, but I'm sure we can bank on Nassau getting at least one more. So
it's been some time. Well, let's see who's going to be out on the court to end this. I was getting a little breather right now. Eric Buss coming back into the game for Beast. There you can see some of the reserves for Beasts out there too. Ricks. And a little bit of run.
A little playing time. This is where you got to make your mark. Doesn't matter that your team's up 27. The minutes you get, you got to make the most of.
28 now, biggest it's been.
Jeez.
Yeah, this is a clinical beating that we have just witnessed, and it just keeps on keeping on. Busk has had a nice night tonight off the bench. The three, he's got some assists, some rebounds, blocked a shot. Oh, look at that, Levin Cutler, tough shot, and the lead is 30.
And there's the magic number. If there was any doubt, it's gone now.
I almost thought King Crossing had his pocket pick there again. Holds on to it, however, and Billy still trying to get over the 40-point mark, and won't happen there. Second chance, however, back up and in. Well, one more bucket. They won't even tie. They can really put this game to bed. It won't be in the record book in any way, shape, or form, but Billy just wants to forget about this one as quickly as possible, move on to the next. There is now absolutely no doubt, and there really hasn't been for a minute, folks, that they are going to drop to 9-15 on the season.
Yeah, these have really controlled this one the whole way. There was the start of the second half where Ill-a-delphia got it down to, I believe, a 7-point deficit, but it was short-lived as Beast of the East quickly took the reins back.
Beasts are going to improve to 17-9 as they battle to get on top of the Atlantic Division. Philly down on the other end of that, unfortunately, and a great chance there to break that high for the scoring low, but couldn't quite do it, and we're under a minute to play, and that's pretty much the drama left in this game, Siege.
Yep. Let's see if they can not tie the lowest score. Hang that one in the rafters.
30 spot would sound pretty good for Beasts. Maybe they have that to play for, but it's all cosmetic really now, folks. This one, Beasts just took control early in the first quarter. Held Philly to just 9 first quarter points, and they've had trouble scoring much more than that since then. There they go, however.
All right. If your name's out of the record book.
Keela Matson, who's had a rough night, gets on the scoreboard there. A little difference between the game clock and shot clock. Let's see. It looks like, well, with the sort of second team out there for Beast, looks like Coach Drayton's going to let them just run the offense here. Why not? these guys some quality time on the court. Couldn't get that to go, however, and final seconds, final score, 71-43, a big-time beat down by Beasts. For Philly, it is back to the drawing board. Siege and myself, hey, we got to get in the limo, head to the airport. We're out of here, heading to the West Coast where you need to be. 9 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to be tipping it off. West Coast and Indy stripes. My own good self, Lava, for my broadcasting partner tonight, Siege, and for everybody here at SimWorld, thank you for being with us. Don't go anywhere. The post-up is up next, and we'll see you again at 9.
Welcome to another episode of the Post Up. I'm here once again with the main man, the maestro, the man of many adventures, the most interesting man in SimWorld, quite possibly the most interesting man in the world, period. So I see you escaped from the submarine.
How you doing, man? How you doing, fam?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Did you get a chance to watch what some people may call a game that just happened?
Oh, that's what I was. Oh, okay. I'm on the oath. Yes, I did.
What you taking away from this, man? It was crazy.
Actually, it was a big learning moment for me. You all people know that I've been pushing for the Ill all year, that their record is not indicative of who they are, and watching them tonight, I finally think I put together why their record is what it is.
Uh-oh.
And well, okay, I'm just going to say this. There is no even tangential relationship between their offensive sets and their transition into defense and their defensive alignment as they move, as they get rebounds to hopefully get back into the offensive sets. It's almost as if, I'm explaining it this way. Imagine if you're going around a racetrack, right? You know how every curve leads you into a straightaway, right? So let's make that straightaway, or let's make this racetrack an actual square, right? So, but every curve still leads you into a straightaway. Bill tonight played as if there's a curve, and then we have to get our car off the track to go to another racetrack to get on the straightaway. And then when we get in that straight, we have to then get out of our car again and push it to another track to do another curve. Nothing was connected. And I think as I was trying to go back through my memory banks, which are very old and rusted, that's what I kind of remember the game. It's like they'll make a great defensive stop, right? Well, they have an opportunity to not even do a breakaway, just to do an efficient transition into their offensive set. And it's just like reckless abandon. And it becomes a hot mess on the other end, bad choices. And then they back that up with being caught off balance in their offensive set. Once they miss a shot, the other team is racing up the court and they're kind of playing along or falling behind. And oh, by the way, when you make bad decisions in shots. You make bad decisions in formation. You make bad decisions in terms of moving off ball. All that does is just exponentially just grow the issues you're going to have. And when you play against, when you play against a team tonight with the Beast, they just took advantage of that.
Yeah, like I talked about last night, I think I had mentioned bad shots at some point in the NBA, in college, and high school level are gonna have to be tallied as turnovers. If they lead to a transition bucket, they need to be tallied as a turnover. And
yes.
Look, I'm a big coach of Coach Dries. I'm a big fan of Coach Dries. That didn't look like Philly basketball to me. I can tell you a lot of times that we watch them, they're scrappy. What we do know is they're going to get after it defensively. They did. In moments, they got after it defensively. The tail of the tape, 71 points, 46% shooting for Beast of the East, is not going to say that they played great defense, but that was the transition opportunities that Beast of the East got because of the bad offense from Ill-a-delphia. I'm a Nas Hall fan. He plays – he's skilled. We'll say that. He's very skilled. Yes. He's a great ball handler. He knocks down tough shots, and he's extremely confident. But I would say he's so confident sometimes when that ball sticks. And you have some players on Ill-a-delphia. They're not going to go get their own bucket. They're not exceptionally well shooting from the perimeter. There has to be movement, people slashing to the basket, somebody – and that's going to require somebody – that's making a dribble move, not to looking to get his own bucket, but to create spacing for somebody slashing. And I think that's where Ill-a-delphia, I think that's where they struggle on offensively. Defensively, they bring it all the time, but offensively, it looks pretty one-sided as far as how they run the offense. On the other side, I'm a big Beast of the East fan, man. Evan Cutler, another one of those kids, in my opinion, where you're not really going to see what he fully is until you see him in SimWorld U basketball, or you see him in the NBA level. You can see the skill now, not a bunch of flashy numbers. I think, 14, 9, an assist, a steal, 2 blocks. I think he qualifies as dirty for you tonight.
You take that back. He's a dirty. You say it with respect.
Yeah, get dirty. But, he's exceptionally skilled. You get that man 40 minutes of actual offensive system and stuff. He made – who knows the numbers he would put up. And then Fareed Redmond. We got a Fareed Redmond sighting. Everybody writes him off. He only played 15 minutes tonight, but you know how many points he scored in 15 minutes? 14. And then Beast of the East also, they had a young man. We saw him ball, only 6'2", 6'2" pure muscle at 209. Leonidas, right? Man,
I love his game. I love his. I love his game. He plays bigger than 6'2".
Hey, at moments you would think there were 300 of them.
Thank you, bro. I see what you did there. Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. But I love his game. There is an energy to his game that is not going to show up on the stat sheet, but boy, it's going to show up where it counts in terms of supporting his team, and it's just nice.
Well, you know who showed up in a big way. Here's who's not going to get heralded for this game: Isaiah James. Little brother of Benari and Barkley. He came in a spurt of about 2 minutes, and he had 3 steals in that quick little moment in time that totally changed the whole, the whole outset and the whole set and tone of what that game was. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, no shot attempts, no points. But my God, he impacted that game, and it never turned back. It never seemed to turn back around, and it was all predicated off of him hounding the ball on defense. Dude,
he was going to make me break my rule.
Would they call him Doc Ock because he has 8 arms like an octopus? They say he has 8 arms.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Exactly.
That is funny.
He was going to make me break my rule tonight because when I saw him come in and do that, I said if he gets to double-digit steals, I'm going to give him the key card to the dirty dirty locker room.
Who have you ever seen have double? Good Lord, that would be ungodly if he had. Have you ever seen someone have double-digit steals?
Here, no. But I thought for a second the way he was doing it, man. First of all, I know there was a warrant out for him, the way he was taking the ball. It was just, but it was like I said, oh, he's going. Oh, wait. You know, I was just like, man, he's going to do this for me. But you know, you're right though. He changed he changed the complexion. He changed the way that Ill was handling the ball because of the fearfulness of the steal. And you know, there's one thing you always coach. The secret of the steal is you don't catch the ball when it's coming out of the hand. You catch it off. You use the bounce off the floor. Take that sound. That's when you jump at the ball. That's how cats like Sheila Baker, who I think leads, I think she owns the steal, the NCAA mark in steals for men and women. Sheila Baker, that's what she would do. She just wait till the ball hit the floor. That's when she'd make her move because then no one's in control of it. And that's the key to getting good steals. And he was showing that tonight.
Well, let me ask though, because you didn't answer the question. So you played or witnessed somebody get double-digit steals in a game, and I'm not talking. I'm not talking junior high.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, yeah. Look, wait. First of all, I'll tell you something. I know. I've had at least, I'm going to top of my head, a couple of times in college, and a few times in high school. I had double-digit steals, and I had a player, and I cannot think of her last name right now. This is hard. My very first year as a women's basketball coach. It's in New York. She had never played basketball before. She came. I had a spot on the team. She was actually dating one of the guys on the men's team, and she just hung out. And I said, look, you know what? Let me get your uniform and get you out here. If nothing else, I can use her for practice. She ended up leading.
That's what I say all the time. I say that every Saturday. Go ahead.
I got you. See what you did there. First my time. She ended up leading all of Region 13 in steals, and she had 3 games in a row where she had double-digit steals.
That's crazy.
I mean,
that's insane.
But you know what though? I'm telling you, it took me it took a 5-minute session because I was teaching her how to dribble, and then she said, "Well, can I take him somewhere to dribble?" I said, "Of course you can." And I walked her through that whole drill I just showed you. Man, she took it to the house, became one of the better players. I think she made all conference, and I think she was 3rd team all region or something like that. From had never playing basketball before and only handball when she was in the Virgin Islands growing up.
That's wild. Double-digit steals. I saw something really good on I think I was on Instagram, TikTok, one of those just yesterday or the day before. Iman Shumpert was on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. And he's talking about how he would defend Kobe and how he defended people in the league, period, and how he was Kobe's the only one who ever made him pay. But another lesson for you kids, if you guys are tuned in for the post-up, which I hope you are, y'all ain't just selfishly only wanting to, check out your own game. I'm sure that's how it goes down. Ain't much I can say about that. But yo, so Iman Shumpert was talking about how he made his name as a defender. People see him as a dunker and all the other stuff. But he's like, I watched film, and not just watching film to say I noticed him, but he was counting guys' dribbles before they make a move, so you just realizing that everybody had a rhythm or a routine to what they were gonna do, or so that you could force them into something else. Maybe almost like a hockey steal. So maybe you don't get them on that first rip, or you don't stop them there, but what you do is you force them to what they don't want to do, and then they get the steal.
Exactly.
And he was talking about how he was out there and he had Kobe locked up to some extent, right? He made sure to make it known he didn't have him on lock like that, but he definitely forced him away from stuff. And he saw Kobe say to him, "Oh, you counting my damn dribbles."
Yeah.
And then he said, that was like the worst thing he could have ever done, because then Kobe, once Kobe figured out what he's doing, he put him to work. But it was a really good. I encourage everybody, as much as y'all check SimWorld out, to go check out that podcast. And I think he even has a book, because he talks about how you guard someone's hip, where your hands are supposed to be, so you can bring them back to the other direction. Your hand's already there. It's really good. It's a defensive clinic, man, and defense still matters, guys. Defense still matters.
Absolutely.
So,
and by the way, yes, that was so awesome. If I can throw one more thing in there, please check out Bill Russell talking about the methodology of defense. And I forgot exactly what it's on YouTube. But he talks about how that everything you just said, he basically explains why he always had such great games against Wilt Chamberlain. When no one else could stop Wilt, he was able to stop him because he would basically let Wilt get away with some stuff, knowing what he was going to do in crunch time, and then he would step in. Basically, he was playing 5-dimensional chess when Wilt Chamberlain was playing checkers. And that's why he had so many impactful games against Wilter Stilt when nobody else did. And now, by the way, that's why they won, 11 championships in a row? I'm just going to say it like that. So please, Yells just put it to y'all, fam. Defense matters. If you can play it, you'll always have a gig.
Hey, before we get off that subject too, defense, we out here, I never really put this out there, but SimWorld, we're also trying to teach y'all about real life out here. Basketball is just a microcosm of life. Sports is just a microcosm of life, man. Mm-hmm. And sports is not all physical. It is mostly mental. The ones that are at elite level is mental. So the more you can, here's what you're doing. Either you're making sure that your opponents stay uncomfortable, right? And that's in life too.
Yep.
Make sure your opponents are uncomfortable.
Yes.
They can't be comfortable.
Yes.
But if you're going to allow them to be comfortable, it's only because you're luring them into something, right? So defensively, it's the same thing. You got to make sure that your opponent, when you're playing defense, is very uncomfortable. They can't get into a rhythm and get comfortable in any spot. And if you're allowing them comfort, it's a guided comfort. You want them comfortable with a purpose. So.
Yeah, louder for the people in the back, baby.
Ain't nobody in the back. Ain't nobody in the back. We doing this on our own, man. No, I'm kidding. Hey, Maestro, man. Last post up we rocked yesterday. There was a lot going on. We went through a whole lot, but there was a matchup that occurred out west that happened after the last game, man. Southeast Select went down. And not so much in a blaze of glory. They went down by one. Their streak is over. Rainin Trays, Japhet Towns, 18 points, 5 boards. Jason Crosser's big ass, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists.
That's it. That's it with love, family.
Yep. Hey, knocked down a couple of threes, actually showed off the repertoire. But late in the game, Jason Crosser 2 back-to-back threes to help Rainin Trays take a 1-point lead that Southeast Select could never get back. Let me pull up some stats here real quick. Make sure we saying the right stuff. Rainin Trey's been on a roll here. They started off the season pretty hot, and then they faltered. Everybody forgot about them. They stopped talking about the dunk god. Everybody stopped talking about Nick Beal. They still got those cats on the team. Japhet Towns decided to start playing some ball here, and Jason Crosser just realized he's 7'1" with a jumper over the last couple weeks. They sit at 14-12. Should these other squads out there, Beyond the Arc, Run DMV, Beast of the East, who we just saw, and even the emerging Atlantis, should they be worried about Rainin Trays?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. Rainin Trays are starting to play like it's the playoffs already, and it's something you and I brought up yesterday too, and I'm going to give you mad credit on this. The playoffs have already started, whether you realize it or not. No matter how many games it says you have left to go in the season, if you're within 2 games of a playoff spot, your playoffs have started. You cannot give away games. You cannot give away points. And oh, by the way, another great call. I'm going to give you mad credit again, fam.
Look at this. Hey, you're doing better than the missus does. She don't give me credit for nothing. You don't owe me money, so it's all good.
So the deal is, you look at Trays and the way they played all year, and look at how their record, right? Just above 500. And in all fairness, they've played in that EKG style. They're either trending up or they're trending down. But over the last 3 games, the last 4 games, it's almost as if they're finding a stride, right? And these other teams that I thought were going to hang on to their spot in the race to 1, I thought they were going to maybe even separate themselves from those teams that are faded out in our race to 1 spreadsheet, are not doing that. And by the way, by them giving games where they are, Yells, that sticks, right? First time a mistake. Second time, starting to become what? A trend. Next you don't know how to stop it. And oh, by the way, with so few games left in the season, once you get in a nutty rut trend, it's over for you. So yes, they should be worried about the Trays, because the Trays are starting their EKG, and if they're moving up, that means they're going to keep moving up for a minute if the pattern holds. So yes, they should definitely be worried about that team.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say this. The team, I think we got one curse word in. I think we're allowed 3. FCC allows us 3. And the team, this squad, we've seen that size has mattered so far in SimWorld Hoops this season. Yeah, you got to have some talent, absolutely. But this team, they don't have a bunch of gargantuans. They don't have a bunch of guys that are 6'10", 6'11", just giants as kids. But what they do have is 6'6", 215 Japheth Towns. Kevon Jackson running the point sometimes. He's 6'4", 214. Nick Beal, the smallest guy on the court on this squad, 6 feet. But then Jason Crosser, 7'1". Travion Sherwood, 6'9". Xavier Bryant, Weapon X, unleash the weapon, 6'7". Cam Astro, 6'6". Asher Benedict, 6'4". Kylo, we'll just call him KC. Kylo Shararumpapumpumpopoulos.
My favorite name, baby.
Yeah, 6'7". Brentley, 6'4". They have a lot of size, but they do have a lot of skill. So, I think boys better watch out for this team. I think they're going to be pretty tough here.
100%.
Hey man, we got a matchup coming up here. Everyone's hanging tight. First of all, let me go ahead and shout out Big Trey Hyman. Kid, you are on your way. He's in the building. See him tuned in for the stream here. We got Coach Drayton coming off a big win, tapping in with us. Appreciate it. Coach Skinny's in the house. Hey. We got some guys here. We're going to start giving away money during the post-up to see who's here. That's what we're going to start doing. We're going to start giving away gift cards, giving away money, something. Everybody checks out. They go hit the gym. We're going to see what's shaking.
I got to give Skinny a shout-out for something else.
What's that?
Skinny, I'm going to put your business out on Front Street because it was a brilliant idea.
Damn.
He actually hit me up and said, the way I go at stats, the way I look at stats and stuff like that, could I come up with a plan or maybe some sort of analytic matching mirror to do dirty coaches? And he has no idea how great that challenge has been. I've gone back now and studied every single game. So when I started looking at coaches, I might not be able to get it done by this season because it's such an awesome challenge. I'm definitely going to start coming with a measurable, analytic way that we can call a coach a dirty coach. It was brilliant. I'm giving you a major shout out, major credit. I love it. Thank you for that challenge. I appreciate that, fam.
Shout out Coach Skinny. He's always locked in, and his players are too. Shout out Renzo. Shout out Renzo Bryant on here. All right, man. So, Best Coast Ballerz, the Levante Center will be hosting. It will be rocking. Indy Stripes coming into town. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of talking. LDO, Benari James get to go head to head. I think between the two of them, we may see about 70 points. Is my guess.
Okay.
What are your 3 keys that you're looking for in this one?
Okay. First key, Indy. Don't do what you did last time. Just don't do that. Please, fam, don't do that. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one right there. The second one, and just to be straight up about it, okay, you're playing against a team that is, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're leading SimWorld Hoops in points per game.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so you need. Thank you for that, boss. Indy, you need to use your athleticism to keep them off balance, keep them off ball. Let your natural scoring ability at 73 points a game kick in. Not that 53 junk you put up last time. No offense, but you know you're better than that. You need to get into your regular range, averaging 73 a game, and you need to use your athleticism to keep them off balance. If you can keep them off the boards and keep them off balance, keep it dirty, keep it low, you're gonna have a shot. But if you do what you did last time, it's not gonna work. Last key, I'm just gonna say it flat out. Indy needs to trust themselves. Don't overthink it. You are not at the point where you can overthink this. You're 2 games out. You have eight games to play, 7 after tonight, but you have 8 games to play. You need to take it one at a time. You need to trust your game that moved you up. When everybody was writing you out and y'all got that attitude, prove it, okay? Prove it. trust yourself, trust your game, and do what you do. Because if you do not, those 8 games are not going to matter, and your 2 games out is going to turn into 3, going to turn into 4, and it's not going to matter very soon.
All right, well, you heard it. Maestro's actually rooting for you is what it sounds like to me. Look, I thought that they're definitely going to have to come with it offensively. I'll take a slightly different approach than what I normally take. Is I don't, the assumption is you're going to have to try and stop the most high-powered offense in all of SimWorld hoops. Because you guys never play defense, Indy. Y'all never play it. So try and get some stops. But at this point, I think you guys are just as potent. I think Indy's just as potent offense as Best Coast Ballerz. And not to be ugly, just to be realistic, I don't think that they can play the defense to stop them. So go out there and try and outscore them. I think that's going to be the best bet for this Indy squad. I think Coach Storm needs to put some lineups out there, mix some things up, maybe not be so glued to a lineup at times, and just make sure that the most points that he can get put on the board, get up on the board, because he's got guys. He's got Benari. He's got Barkley. Jay Luce gets forgotten about out there. Reza Rig can go get him. White Williams, I think we saw him have a stretch where he knocked down 4 straight threes. And then you got some big guys out there that, those big guys that don't get a whole lot of love because they don't have a whole lot of post moves and flash and the pan athleticism. But what they do is they set a hard-ass screen and they roll hard, and there's nothing you can do to stop them from rolling the basket. They got a couple of those guys in Towns Romanowski and Robert McGee. So, and then, I mean, they're loaded, man. Sean Chapman Daly, these kids are big news in the state of Indiana, in the state of that Ohio, Kentucky, Ohio Valley area. They have some big-time talent from there, not to mention the guys they brought in from out of the region in the James brothers and Jay Luce. So just try and score, man. Just try and I want to see a shootout. You know what? I just want to see a shootout. That's all it is.
Fair. But you know where? Listen, boss. You know where scoring starts though? Getting your booty on the boards.
Yeah, you gotta have the ball to score.
With all they have, and as deep as they are, get your booty on the boards.
Yeah.
And turn those into possessions that count as points. That's where your score is going to start.
I tell ladies that on the weekend as well. Get your booty on the boards, and I'm gonna turn that into a position that counts. You're wilding out here, Maestro. What you doing? What you doing on Thursday?
Brother, let me tell you something. I'm just looking for something to set on fire. I'm looking for a couch, or old Honda Civic, something that I can. So I got a whole 2 gallons of kerosene that I need to use before tomorrow.
Ain't nothing you can do to disrupt an old Honda Civic. Cut it out, man. Those things, they run forever. You can get 300,000 miles out of those things. You can run it into a wall, set it on fire, and you can also still hop into it and drive it to work the following day. So
thank you.
Hey man, look, it's soapbox time. It is soapbox time. Last topic here is not the most fun one, but hopefully it matters to people. Hey man. Or hopefully you care. Maybe you don't. But it's just that kind of day. It's the kind of day, man. What are some of your personal mantras? We can go back and forth if you got more than one. We can go through a couple of them, and we can give people a break as they get their drinks ready for the late night matchup.
I got you. You know what? Let's go back and forth. First. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you procrastinate, if you say I'm gonna get to it, which means I'm not going to do it. If that's how you do one thing, that's how you're going to do everything. If you don't have any self-pride to get your stuff done to the best of your ability, not to the best of the person next to you, not to the best of the person behind you, but to your best ability, if you don't do that with everything from brushing your teeth to picking your toes to quoting movie lines, if you don't do that to your best, you're not doing nothing.
How you do one thing is how you do everything. I love that. We probably could do this all day. I have a board and a phone full of quotes, and I send them up. But yes, I'm on board with that one. And by the way, I sound like anybody you know. Yeah. And by the way, your pod that dropped earlier today. Oh man.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I had to grab me I don't even smoke. I had to get me a cigarette and smoke it out one of those little small things, the little things that with the little where the cigarette doesn't touch your fingers. I had to grab me a smoke and a drink after that podcast. It was so good. Touched my soul. But yeah. How you do one thing is how you do everything. I love that one. I think that probably goes right along with my mantra. The 3 C's. I throw them out there. You got to have the 3 C's. You got to be able to communicate. You got to be consistent, and you got to be committed. If you're doing something and those 3 C's aren't involved, it's not likely to be the big S, which is successful. You really got to communicate. You know, sometimes things may be a struggle. People fall, but you got to let people know what's going on so they know how to adapt to you. You know, if you're committed, you still may have down modes, but you're going to pick it back up if you're committed. And then lastly, consistency. Like the show goes on, and that leads to my true mantra that I live by before I hand it back to you for another one. And this is the non-Gen X comment, because this one doesn't sound so pretty. And everyone has a different version of this, but mine is just no excuses, just success. That's it, man. That's the only thing that's allowed. Because right, if you guys are working your 9 to 5, or if you're trying to provide for your family, or you trying to get your grades at school, or you just trying to have a good day. Nobody wants to hear why it didn't happen. You don't want to hear why it didn't happen. You just wanted it to happen, right? No excuses, just success. So,
exactly.
What else you got, man?
Okay, this one. You know what? I'm gonna go on and get personal with this one because it means that much to me. All you can give is all of you, and I'm gonna tell you where that comes from. It comes from my mom. It comes from my mom's, and I'm gonna tell you where it comes from. I was very, very sick as a child, and even to this day, I have basically a little over 60% use of both of my lungs. And all that I've done in my life, the sports, the athletic, the training, the special operations, everything else, as a musician, everything else, I would push myself to the point of passing out, because I hear her voice all the time saying, all you have to give is all of you. And I just remember that. I would run races. I'd pass out at the finish line. Everybody would be worried. My dad would be freaking out. My mom would say, as long as he wakes up, he's fine. But she instilled in me that what you just said, you have to give 100% of you all the time, because that's all you have. And it even to the point, I'll share this with you. I got medically failed a bunch of times in training and stuff like that because of my issue with my lungs. And sometimes the polyps burst, and I have blood in my lungs, and I have to get them aspirated. That does not stop me at all. All I have is all of me, and I'm going to give it for every single thing. You know some of the stuff that I'm dealing with. You know how I roll, right? In my head, like you said, no excuses, just success. And I just hear my mom's voice, and I thank her for that every single day. I thank her for that, because I don't have time to sit down and say I can't. As a matter of fact, I don't think I ever said I can't. It's always I will, one way or the other. And you're absolutely right, 100%. That is how you have to do it. That's how you have to give it, no matter what. And I know now, even as an older person, I know sometimes I was putting my life in danger a little bit, but guess what? I would do it no other way. I do it that same way every single time.
Hey, that's a segue into my last quote. Perfect segue into one of my mantras I live by, and I don't even know if it's just a mantra or just a philosophy, and it's the one. I mean, everybody knows this one. I think we take this thought for granted. The only thing in life that you can't get back is what? Time. The only thing. So if you're doing something and you spinning your wheels and you're half-assing it, whatever it is, if you pizza man, if you out there playing on the court, if you're not giving your all, you know what you're wasting? Your time. And it's the only thing you're not going to get back. So yeah, that's so valuable. Everything that I'm doing, everything that I try and do, anything that I try and do people with, I try and be efficient, effective with their time, or make it count. Because the time is everything, man. Coach, shout out Coach Drayton, threw one out there. I like this one. The standard is the standard.
Ooh. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Don't play to someone else. Don't. See, that's how talent plays to lower talent, right? Because they're making that. We just need to do this to win. But I should be on teams like that sometimes. I'm getting mad right now. I have to calm down.
I love the ones that are kind of simple like that. Maestro, the standard is the standard. I think I sent this to the team the other day, Kenny Smith talking, and he gave the simple, it's such a beautiful quote. Extraordinary. You want to be extraordinary? All you have to do is do the ordinary, but do it extra. Just do it more than the other person does it.
Thank you.
That he said extraordinary isn't anything super. It's called extraordinary. It's just the ordinary. just a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's
By the
great,
way,
man.
don't wait for credit. You just keep going forward.
What you got,
If
man?
nobody talking about you, that's fine. Don't wait for credit. You just keep doing it.
Before we get out of here, Maestro, you got one more for us. I think I've probably got out 5 or 6 of them. What you got, man?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, baby. Last one I got is the one person you can't lie to is you.
You know people do that though. You know people do it though.
Oh yeah. But you know what though?
Can't do it.
At some point they close their eyes. At some point they're in the dark by themselves, and that's all you got is you. And you know when you was BSing when you said, "Girl, you know it's just you," or I did that extra workout today. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, coach, I looked at the playbook. Yeah, coach, I studied film. You know you didn't do it. The one person you can't lie to is you. And if you don't hold yourself to a standard, like coach said, if you don't hold yourself to a standard higher than what anybody else could do, you're not holding yourself. The one person you can't lie to is you. You know if you're doing the right thing, yes or no, it's that simple.
Yikes. Good stuff, man. I think we may have gotten a little too deep for people out here on this episode, but sometimes this is what you do. You know what, though? You talking about, hey, the one person you can't lie to is you. One of these next squads coming out here, Best Coast Ballers or the Indy Stripes, are not going to be able to lie to themselves after this game because the proof is going to be in the pudding when it comes to the scoreboard. Like I said, I'm expecting LDO, Bernard James to come out, put 70 up between them. This game will probably end somewhere around 80 to 82, something like that. That's what I'm looking for. Our late games have generally been, they've been top notch. Then we got your man E-Lava coming back, The Voice. We got Siege. He's going to talk about some food, give you some basketball breakdown.
69.
Yeah, he's got something with 69, but a lot of people do. So we appreciate you guys tuning in, keeping it locked with us. For you guys who stayed through the post up, we got so much more coming. I know you guys may be looking for another little nugget drop. I dropped some little tidbits last night. Not happening today. The only nuggets we gave today were the life lessons and some notes to our coaches. So, Maestro, anything you want to say to people before we get out of here, man?
I just want to say one thing, and I mean this from the bottom of all I have. I appreciate everybody's feedback, from our production team to our media team to the players to the coaches to everybody that's been really shuffling me along here in my first year in SimWorld Hoops. I've never felt more at home in any other place, and I can honestly say, because I'm learning something every day. These guys can tell you that I'm learning how to use technology because I was born before there was dirt. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. I've loved being here. I can't wait to see everybody keep growing and keep getting better because I'm trying to keep up with you. Just want to say thank you.
Yeah, man, we're looking forward to see you guys continue your careers and move into the collegiate level. This is not the end. These are going to be exciting times, so we're looking forward to it. Stay tuned. We're going to take a little intermission here, a little Kobe-esque minute break. That's not Kobe. That's not an 8-minute break. It's the legit Kobe one. We're looking at about 24 minutes before we get kicked off for this other one. But then again, it may start a little early, so stay tuned. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to SimWorld TV, the post up. We out of this thing. Peace.
All I know is that I came to party all night. I don't know about you. But best believe we need that with the whole crew. There was this flirty gal from the dirty south. Her body was banging out of control. She was 5'5", big thighs, and green eyes. Everybody in the club was like, whoa. It must have been the ice on my wrist and twisting my head. Cause this pretty young miss walked over and said, soon as I finish this, Chris, I wanna go to your red room and have a little fun in your bed. I here to let you down, but I got all of my niggas around. And I don't wanna leave yet, but there's something about your sexy style. So just wait a while, and then you can bet that I will sex you. I really don't mean to disrespect you, but all I can picture is your legs around my waist. Just gotta get a taste for the way it goes. All I know is that I came to party all night. I don't know about you, but just believe when we leave, let it believe when we leave. the whole crew. All I know is that I came to party all night. I know about you. But best believe what we need. And just leave it with me and leave it with the whole crew. I feel just like a kid in a candy store. So many ladies in there working the floor. What do I do? How can I pick? How can I choose? My head is tight, I'm about to make my move. So I creep up behind her. Never seen anyone finer. You're the kind of hype that I want for sure. So come on, baby girl, let's go.
Yeah, I might be leaving with you, but I ain't leaving with your whole damn crew. You must be losing your mind. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't trying to holla. Got a girl playing the fool, cause damn, baby, you fine. You been grinding my behind all night. Yeah, that's right, but the thing is, I like it. You been buying all this wine for me all night long, thinking you're gonna take me home, but you're wrong.
All I know is that I came to party all night. I don't know about you, but best believe when we leave that it could be with the whole. All I know is that I came to party all night. I don't know about you, but best believe when we leave that it could be with the whole. I don't know about you, the whole.
H-Town shit. You know what I'm saying?
Ricky taught me.
Summer Kid season. Summer Kid season.
Welcome back, everybody. SimWorld TV has moved things out to the West Coast, one of the most beautiful spots in the country, Santa Barbara, where Best Coast is getting set to take on the Indy Stripes. You have E-Lava back behind the mic, where I'm joined once again by Siege. Siege, recharged and refreshed after that coast-to-coast trip to cover this game too.
Absolutely. Beautiful plane ride in the aisle seat. I was excited about that on the aisle, guys, so it's good to hear that you're a window guy.
That what makes us a good tandem, me and you.
Absolutely, that's what does it. But I'm excited for this game, like we talked about in the last one. Got two superstars going at it in LDO and Benari James, and then I'm looking personally for Reza Red to have a big impact in this game for Indy. Best Coast Ballers are a little bit undersized. They do have some dogs down in the post, but they don't really have anyone who can match up with his size, so I'd like to see him use that.
Well, it's Best Coast big man who gets to work and gets on the board first. That's Evangelos Mullins working his way inside for the bucket. Pounds Romanowski and Reza Red starting in the front court for Indy tonight. Benari James out there, of course. There is the big man, Reza Red, but he can't get his first shot to go.
He's going to make me start my rant early on these pull-up jumper right there next to the basket. Go into him. Come on. What are you doing?
Well, there you see Barkley James gets inside and gets the bucket to go. I'm sorry, not Barkley James, excuse me. We're going the other way there with Best Coast. Benari bringing it up now. It was LDO with his first bucket on the other end, and there, Stripes get on the board. Reza Red this time, he finds pay dirt.
LDO should have a field day. This Indy Stripes team is not known for their defense.
Need to get it going on offense. Well, the Ballers are so far. LDO strikes once again. He's been getting a lot of chatter about a possible player of the year based on how he's played so far. Of course, there's still plenty of basketball left, but certainly up there in the discussion with the likes of Bronny James and DJ Wagner, if not ahead of him.
He's in my top three. If I had to give a top three, and I think they're all very close. It's him, Bronny, and Trey Turner with DJ Wagner right on the outside. But all four of those guys it's very tight. I don't think we can give it to anyone yet. We got to kind of see how they close out their resume.
Outlaw is looking to improve his own so far tonight. He's off to a hot start. He's got 6 points. His bucket's coming inside. He has it in his hands once again. It's up to Mullins. Works a little 1-2 with the big man. Oh. Nice little spin and right to the rack, but that one rattles off.
Pounds Romanowski, another guy who's got a little bit of size on everyone on this Best Coast Baller squad. I'd like to see him maybe have an impact tonight too.
Well, Reza Red is going off early as you predicted, Siege. Big kid, 6'10", 235-pounder, and he's just proved a little bit more than Best Coast can handle. And now Outlaw's missed his last couple attempts inside after getting that to work. First 3-4 possessions.
Of course, Reza Red's mother, Miss Red, is here. I had a nice conversation with her before the game. She always brings me some good snacks for the broadcast. So always thankful for Mrs. Red.
I'm wondering why I'm just learning about this. I guess we don't share snacks around here, but that's cool. That's totally cool.
Oh, we do. I was going to pull it out around halftime.
Oh, okay. All right. Surprise me.
We ate on the plane, E.
I know. We ate well even. But anyway, hey, LDO, he's eating. That's a 3 there. He's got 9 early on.
That's what he does.
Well, we're hoping for a more competitive game than what we had in our opener. I'm sure Best Coast would love to repeat what Beast of the East did earlier tonight and just come out, take control of this game, and never look back.
Oh, it's going to depend, like we said, on what version of Indy Stripes we see tonight. And this is a mismatch. Somebody's going to need to go help him.
Boy, LDO. But look at that nice help defense from Romanowski.
There you go. It's going to take a lot of... That's what you have to do to slow down LDO is help defense. There's really not anyone in this league who can handle him one-on-one.
The James brothers, so far, pretty quiet from them in the backcourt as they continue to go inside, but this time Red has his pocket picked.
Cookies.
(11-6) early lead for Best Coast. Heading inside there, and nice little bucket. That is none other than Akil Huber out of Hawaii. Oh, excuse me, I misidentified there. Jeziel Wright Johnson was the scorer on that one. Way short on that shot was James.
Benari's going to need to get things going here if they're not going to fall behind. He's got to get this offense ignited.
AWJ couldn't get that one to go. And James, again, they've been really focused on pounding it inside so far. Let's see how long that lasts. Well, open looking three here. Nice kickback from Reza Red to make that happen.
And that's the game plan I would have if I'm Indy Stripes tonight. Is I'm gonna go to Reza Red inside. He's got a size mismatch on anyone on this Best Coast Ballerz roster. If they keep him one-on-one, I'm gonna rely on Reza Red to be tough, be physical inside, and go get a bucket or a foul. If they double team him, you're gonna get exactly what you saw there. Nice kick out to one of the many shooters Indy Stripes has.
Well, some subs coming in now. Robert McGee enters the game, and he replaces Reza Red, who just picked up a foul right there. And once again, LDO set to go to work. He's got Benari James defending him on this possession. He's going to pull up a shoot over Benari and nail it.
Easy.
12 points now. Ace Darius Outlaw. Up on 2 minutes to go here in this opening quarter. Oh, let's see if Benari can return the favor. He's trying to work over LDO here, but his shot runs out. LDO comes up with the rebound. Oh, nice move. Oh, but broken up.
Interesting choice. Okay.
Still ends up West Coast bucket after all.
LDO saw Fareed Redmond's first quarter performance and said, I'll match you.
Berkeley James with the pull-up, and he's off on his shot.
He's not he's a great shooter, but he's a little better off the catch and shoot than he is off the dribble. I'd look to get him going off some screens, maybe get him some open shots.
Oh, Brungo finds an open shooter in the corner, and it's good. It's loose. Cuts loose in the corner for three. Brings the lead down to 6.
This Indy Stripes team really does have so many guys who can knock down a shot. It bewilders me that they're not more consistent.
Yeah, no, they're just, they're mercurial. They're up and down. They have been this season. You know, they come into this game 10-13 overall. Lost their last matchup. Their last 5. Going to avoid that here on the road, but the first quarter has been all in favor of the home team so far. We're under a minute to go. Nice defense there from McGee. Forces able to be picked up. Shot clock winding down now, and oh, look at that! Nice find from LDO. Easy bucket, 10-point lead, biggest of the game for Best Coast.
Well, E, we might be getting a repeat of last one.
No.
And one! Maybe not.
Benari picks up the foul, or gets the foul from Evangelos Mullins. He'll get a chance to trim this lead down to 7. He can make the free throw. Novajovic enters the game. Johan has had some big scoring nights for Indy, although more towards the beginning of the season than of late, and he was in the starting lineup at one point, number 10 out there, in the blue uniforms.
I'm interested to see if they're kind of just going to let LDO do his thing and try to contain the rest of the team and just match him on the other side, or if they've got some kind of defensive scheme around him that they're gonna kind of bust out here.
They're catching a little break here at the first quarter. He's getting a breather. West Coast going to take this down for one last shot. Coylton in the game. He drives inside but can't get the jumper to go, and probably don't. They're going to heave it. Well astray. All the same, 7-point lead for Best Coast. Second quarter coming up. We're going to take a quick break. Come right back. Ace Darius Outlaw pacing things so far. His Best Coast squad has the lead. He's got 12 points. Catching a little breather on the bench right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost outscored Indy Stripes on his own.
Like you said at the top of the broadcast, Siege, Indy has a size advantage, and they went to it early on. Reza Red got some good buckets and got an assist on a 3. But it just hasn't proven to be enough, particularly to contain LDO. There's a tough shot from Benari, but he nails that one. Eating the game now for Benari James.
And he'll get it going, too. I'm expecting kind of a back and forth if this game stays tight from Benari and LDO late in the game. So we'll see how tight the game stays. Hopefully Indy Stripes shows that promising side that they have.
Leo Huber, what a great 3. What a nice pass. What a nice offensive rebound as well, for that matter. That was Landon Quilton working inside. Couldn't get the shot, but the assist on a 3 instead. Huber picks up that rebound. Quilton, along with Dre Ryder, one of only 2 16-year-olds on this upperclassman heavy Best Coast squad playing to win this year.
I think they've got a shot. I think they've got a shot.
Oh, I think they do for sure, too. Ooh, you have a shot. There's a nice shot there as they extend the lead. But for Indy, you know, a little under 500 this year. We talk about the talent, but we talk about the inconsistency, too. Do think looking ahead to the future, I mean, Reza Red alone is only 15 years old. There are some talented 16-year-olds on this team, like Barkley James, Jay Luce, Marcellus Brungo, Robert McGee out on the court right now. Definitely a squad, much like Beasts of the East, which I think has a new next season. Everything their arrows should continue to point up.
Yeah, the only thing I worry about with the young guys they have on this team is when you have young guys who are very talented and you have kind of a down season like this, where like really the only consistently promising thing is Benari James. There's 2 sides. There's one, you know, Benari leaves, there's more room for a kind of a scheme on offense, more room for other guys to kind of step up, things like that. And then there's the side that you might have some of these young guys who decide that they want to take their talents elsewhere, where they think they might be more competitive.
One of those young guys, Landon Quilton, a 3 on that end, but quickly answering on this side, coming right back. That is was Sean. Yes, I was looking at that. Sean Chapman Daly. I was like, who is that? Well, Chapman Daly coming off the bench. Got a nice bucket there. As once again, Quilton tries to get inside, gives it back out. He's going to take another 3. Can't get that one to go. Nice bench minutes all the same for Landon Quilton in this one. Benari trying to go around Huber there. He created some space for himself, but couldn't finish the shot.
Bake but no bake.
Point advantage, West Coast. Quilton once again going to take a jumper and make it. He is providing some instant offense.
You'd like to have that off the bench, especially for a team that the one thing that's been called into question for this West Coast Ballerz team consistently is they don't have a number 2. They really don't. I mean, Evangelos Mullins is a great player. There's a lot of guys who have their moments, but there's there's really not a second guy who can create their own offense other than LDO. So that's been called into question a lot. If any of these guys can step up and kind of become at least sort of that number 2 option on offense, I think it's gonna do wonders for their chances.
Austin Ajavan to the line. Ajavan is a SimWorld veteran, played the game last year, but played it down in Los Angeles for the LA Stars, now rebranded as Showtime this season. He moved up the coast, maybe just like the beach scene here. Coming off the bench, but providing some steady play and leadership, averaging about 4.5 points, 4.5 rebounds per game, and shooting a team best 65% from the field. Ajavan being heavily recruited by nearby Pepperdine, just about an hour down the road in Malibu, and he gets both his free throws to go.
He can be a nice piece on a team that kind of figures out how to use his talents. He can definitely contribute.
He's contributed to a 9-point advantage. Indy tries to get some of that back, but that shot won't go. May Newman gets the ball ahead. Oh, and look at Ajavon finish.
Might have some of those scouts in the house tonight. He's decided to show out.
There's a little size disadvantage with Towns Romanowski, but Rose right above him on that possession. 11-point lead now for the Ballerz. Atman Daly. Sticky defense being played here, however. Going to try to work his way inside on Ajavon. That doesn't seem well advised, and he can't get the shot to go.
That's not
A loose ball foul called on Reza Red. That's his second.
And that could be a big storyline if they keep him in here. You're gonna want to go at him, get his third before the half. That could be that could kind of take away that size advantage that Indy does have.
And Daly coming out of the game. James back in. And Lace Darius Outlaw re-enters and has the ball for Best Coast. So Newman going to try his luck there and gets that shot to go. Nice bucket, Lene Newman.
Lene Newman's a guy that we've seen improve over the season pretty consistently. He's come out and proven to be a very serviceable setter for this team.
Well, there's Barkley James, younger brother of Benari. No, I've actually called a few games, Siege. I can't remember if you were on them or not, but where Barkley has really broken out, been an offensive force. I think Indy might need some of that tonight if they're going to hang with Best Coast.
Oh, yeah. I remember specifically one game that you're speaking of we called together. I'm trying to remember who it was that decided to play a zone against Indy, but it resulted in Barkley going, I believe, 9 for 9 from 3.
I believe you are
did not miss a single three. A real breakout game at that point. At that point, he didn't have really much attention at all, and that was a big one for him.
Loose ball. Indy comes up with it. Chance to get the lead back under 10 here on this possession, and Barkley has the ball. It's it into the big man, Rezaret. He's only got Uber on him. He's going to want to take advantage of this.
I swear, if you shoot the hit away. Good dish.
Oh, look at that! Oh, boy. Jovic just couldn't finish it, but he does end up pulling Mullins into a foul.
And that's his second as well.
It's his second. Hey, I want to say thank you, everybody out there watching, for tuning in tonight. And want to remind everybody here on YouTube, please like us. Please subscribe. We want you to like us. We're so likable. You should definitely like us. Subscribe and tell your... That's the other thing, too. They're missing out on some action right now, like a very big man, but just a 15-year-old, don't forget. Getting screwed there was a red, but pass intercepted. Romanowski, he's going to do it all here, and can't. Everything but the finish. Everything but the finish, Siege.
Big but no big.
Well, Indy's turning the D up at least, as the game's getting a little bit frantic. Reza Red gets it again, but gives it up to Novajovic. Shot clock down. Red has it. He's going to try a little jumper. That's probably a few feet outside of his comfort zone, even with a smaller defender on him. Instead, he gives it up. Oh boy, Mullins almost stepped out of bounds there, but able to corral the ball. Now, Mullins, certainly, this is a size disadvantage against Red, who's on now. But as I say, like, he can do some things. Like, Mullins can shoot from outside. He's also fairly quick for a player his size and build.
Absolutely.
Romanowski couldn't get it, but Reza Red cleans it up.
Using that size advantage. I do love Evangelist Mullins' games. I think he's a very versatile player. He's a very key kind of glue guy. He's the kind of guy who can guard the 2 through 4 with no issue. Could probably guard a 5 to some degree. Very athletic, high-flying dunks, like you said, can hit an outside shot. Reminds me a lot of like an Aaron Gordon type, kind of. Can guard the best player and can contribute on offense. I do really love Evangelist Mullins' game.
Romanowski couldn't get that little shot to go there. I think Indy's going to rue some easy shots they've missed. Nice defense from Red here, however. Nice defense in general from the Stripes the past few minutes. They're at least not letting this thing get out of hand. We are down to the final ticks of the first half. It looks like Indy's going to set up here for one shot. There's about a 3-second differential, shot clock to game clock. And with the solid defender on him, but Newman rises, gets the block. Enough time here for a heave from West Coast. Off the backboard. I feel like I had a chance for a second, but regardless, West Coast pretty happy with how things have gone so far. They are up by 9. Laced Darius Outlaw really kind of setting the tone and filling up the stat sheet, particularly in that first quarter siege.
Yeah, absolutely. LDO doing what we expect him to do every game. And they've got some kind of surprise contributors that have played really big. Akil Uber had some big moments. Austin Alavon had some really, really good play in that first half. So he's contributed to this lead. On the other side, there's some things Indy's doing that are working. When Reza Red's being tough inside, he's got the baskets, got a couple offensive boards, putbacks kind of thing. That's something I would keep going to the well on. Benari James he's doing him. Not having an explosive game, but you can count on some buckets from him. But I think what's big is that they continue to key in on Reza Red, but Reza Red has to be tough inside. He has to go to the basket, not away from the basket with his shots. But if they do that, they are still within striking distance.
Let's see what Indy coach Javad Storm cooks up here during the break. Come back, second half when we return. All right, we're back. Second half in our second game, the Thursday doubleheader here on SimWorld TV. And hey, I want to remind everybody, we're going to be back again, actually on July 4th. A special game between Gotham 5 and DMV. That should be good. And a good one cooking here. Look at this. Reza Red, a shot swatted on one end, turns into a bucket for LDO on the other. He's got a game-high 14 now, and it's an 11-point lead again for the West Coast Ballers.
Here they go inside to him. Like to be tough. There's the double.
The double. Is he just going to go through it? No, he does give it up, but the pass a little too high. Well, James collected it, but he couldn't bury it. Barkley taking that shot. And Newman ahead to Mullins. That was a tricky pass to get in there. Mullins goes right up over Romanowski, but can't finish the shot.
We had a similar story with LDOs. We did with Fareed Redmond. Had a crazy first quarter. Didn't show up too much in the second quarter, but he built the lead for him, and he said, all right, everyone else get your piece in.
Well, the undisputed heartbeat, this West Coast team. Ooh, nice rebound from Reza. He can't finish the putback, but he will go to the line. That's Dre Ryder picking up his first foul. You know, we really haven't talked about Dre Ryder tonight. He's a relatively new addition to this West Coast squad. Big kid, 6'8", 195 pounds, 16 years old, out of Yuba City in California.
And he's a guy who we've seen a couple of times catch fire from beyond the arc and been a key contributor in a couple of games. If he can kind of do that consistently, at 6'8", a wing, you know, you got that length. You can play some decent defense with that. Could be a great 3-and-D piece for this team. Just got to see him continue to progress.
Well, even though he's only been with the team for part of the season, he has made the fourth most threes. He's sunk 13 of them, but only shooting 41% from the field overall this year, so clearly still figuring out exactly how Coach Aaron Murray wants to run his sets and play. But as I mentioned, just 16 years old. He'll, assuming they come back to the squad and there's no movement, he'll come back with Landon Quilton to some key pieces next year as well. 3 on the way. That's well short. Red picks up the rebound.
Oh my God, Reza Red bringing it up the court. Come on.
Pretty impressive dribbling, actually, for a 15-year-old kid that size.
Yeah, you know that me and Miss Red have a great relationship. We talk all the time. I still don't understand how she got this child to be this big. She says he's always been big. I'm like, what are you feeding him? What kind of potion?
Cornbread, mostly. Cornbread with every meal.
He does make great cornbread, as I now will bring you the surprise. It's a nice tray of cornbread.
Oh, if it's cornbread, I'm going to be so happy. That is a favorite. That's right there with like mashed potatoes. That's good stuff. I like that.
Miss Red's famous cornbread. It's amazing.
Red bread. Well, look at Reza. Well, gives it up there. Gives up to Barkley. Now it's Romanowski. We saw Romanowski attempt a 3 earlier in this game. He has made 2 on the season. He can shoot from out there.
Well, he looked like Ryan Anderson. If he could develop a 3 like Ryan Anderson, he could be a really.
There he goes. Ooh, that was pretty on line, but just a little bit strong. Positioned by Mullins, but couldn't get the bank shot to go. And this game has really settled down scoring-wise. Both teams having trouble finding a bucket. Points coming at a premium.
And that's one thing that I do think Evangelist Mullins has a very good all-around game. Ooh, and that's the move I want to see from Reza Red, going to the basket, great footwork, got right next to it and put it in. He can do that all day against this team if he wants.
It was a good recognition. He had Jeziel Wright Johnson on him, who's a good defender. Only 6'4" and about 195 pounds. He's just not the ideal body shape. Stop. Mass of Reza Red.
And
got a timeout. Got a timeout here on the court. Want to remind everybody who's been watching tonight, we want to get you in this game. You can be a player like Reza Red, like the James brothers, Indy. You can be a coach. You could take over a team like this Best Coast squad. Maybe has a chance to make the race to 1, be a finalist in this year's SimWorld season. Come check us out. Come to our Discord server. That's really the place to be. That's where it all starts. Discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. You can apply to be a player. You can apply to be a coach. You can join the community, and you definitely should. It's a pretty fun thing and a pretty good place. So again, that's discord.gg/SimWorldNBA.
See the game, E the game.
There you go. Know the tagline, say the tagline. That's what makes you a pro, Siege.
Oh, stop. Come on. Everything I know I learned from you.
Jay Luce coming back in the game. He's another one of these talented players on this Indy lineup. He's been pretty quiet so far tonight. We can make a difference here in the second half. Nice drive LDO, but his little, that's almost a signature LDO shot, that kind of little running floater, but he hasn't quite found it tonight. Missed on a couple of them. Chapman Daly with an aggressive move, but he can't finish it.
Very aggressive. I do like the aggression. I would like it more if it went in.
Mullins, the turnaround.
And that's one thing I can say. Evangelist Mullins is a very well-rounded player. I would like to see him improve his post game, but that's really not his bag. He does a lot of things really well. He doesn't necessarily need to be a great post scorer. But that's kind of the weak spot in his game, I would say. Is he doesn't really have that post bag that some other bigs do.
Now, finally able to get a bucket, Best Coast. They've been stuck on 37 for a while. This lead had shrunk to 6, back up to 8 now as we approach the halfway mark of the third quarter with Nari James. He's got Cortland right on him. Cortland's been playing pretty good defense on Benari tonight, and got a hand in his face, missed the 3 there.
Can't let this game get back away from them again like it was in the first. I don't think they'll get a second chance to come back.
Lead quickly back up to 10 as LDO's mid-range pull-up over Chapman Daly goes through. LDO defending Chapman Daly now. Nari in the backcourt with him, and he tries to cut to the paint and does. Got around to Keel Huber. That's not easy. Keel Huber, 6'4", good defender. But Nari just took for him on that sequence.
Yeah, that's a tough take. One thing Renari James does really well, he's got a stocky body at 6'2", 200 pounds, and he uses it well.
There is Austin Ajavan. Limited minutes, but a noticeable impact from him tonight. And a nice pass from Outlaw to find him there. 10-point lead, and the Stripes, Coach Storm, wants to talk it over. Third quarter hasn't quite gone the way he'd hoped so far. Well, we got a timeout here on the floor. You know, I mentioned that you can come and be a player or a coach in this game just a minute ago during our last break, but wanted to also let you know that we're looking to expand our SimWorld media. We are looking for writers, journalists, people to become writers and journalists to join us. You can find out all the info, everything you need for how to apply to that. The same place, discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. You'll be working with pros like Siege, who I just mentioned. Maestro.
And the wonderful E-Lavas. Come on, let's give him some credit. Let's give him some credit.
Oh, I just read off the teleprompter here. That's all I do. That's what I do. But no, you got lots of good folks here. B-Ron, Big Bob. Yeah, even me. Lots of good folks. We need some more folks. Come and join us. Meanwhile here, much better game than the first game we had, but Best Coast has been in control almost the entire way. Lead was chopped to 6 earlier in this quarter, but it's back up to double digits now. Subs in the game. Angelos Mullins getting a rest for Best Coast. Hugo Fields in for him. Ooh, nice defense from Best Coast there on that inbound. Just had all the options suffocated and turned it over. Huber open 3, but he can't get it to go. McGee pulls away the rebound.
McGee and Romanowski, I get them confused sometimes. They got a similar look to them.
They do. Similar build for sure. Ooh, it's a nice shot. No Jovic, hey. Know what he can do. Know he's talented filling in there. But yeah, McGee, Romanowski, both 6'9", both almost 200 pounds.
Oh my.
Oh, high off the backboard with a pretty finish there.
That felt silly. Like he could have just put it in. It felt like he's toying with them. But what a beautiful shot.
That might be clip-worthy there. We might have to see that on Discord later tonight. Johan's starting to heat up a little bit. Jovic, 6'4", 195-pounder out of Houston, Texas, where all the basketball talent seems to come from. 2023 in the SimWorld game. Chapman Daly didn't like the call there, but nonetheless, Best Coast heading to the line. 8. Well, I mentioned it before, but we get the free throws here. I wanted to mention we're going to be off the air for a couple days, but we are going to be back on the 4th of July, celebrating America with an all-star matchup. Gotham 5 versus Run DMV. Classic Amtrak Acela Corner rival. And 2 darn good teams going to go head-to-head then. Kenzie Mbako. Matthews. Would be a good matchup. And that's coming to you at noon Eastern on July the 4th.
Could be a fun one. Anytime I get to watch Nick Hugo play, I'm excited. He's like an exciting player without being a scorer, which you gotta love.
11 blocks. Monster performance from him, and a defeat, which made it bittersweet, but still a noteworthy performance. One of the standout stat lines of the season. I still don't think we're going to ever top Blaine Kidd's, not this year. Opening day triple-double.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna hit. He was flirting with that triple-double, but just didn't quite finish it. I think he was 1 or 2 rebounds away from that triple-double, but
it's tough to get him in these 32-minute SimWorld games. That was the first one ever in 2 seasons, well, a season and a half of SimWorld history. Jamison Johnson, one of the most dominant players in the game last year, came close on occasion, but look at Atlantis' Blaine Kidd, opening day. Picking up a triple-double and a victory. Another nice move from LDO, but he couldn't finish that time.
Maybe we'll get a closing day of the regular season triple-double just to kind of wrap it all up in a nice little sandwich.
I just hope it's Blaine Kidd again if it does happen.
That would be great. I would enjoy that.
Keel Huber has it. Well, Indy has hung around. This lead has certainly never got anything approaching out of hand, and they did have it down to 6 earlier. Coming up on 1 minute to play here in the quarter, and sands in the hourglass are fading away. They need shots like those, but Novajovic can't get it to go.
Yeah,
but I think it's still, you know, I know he scored some points, but I still feel like there's a lot left in the tank with Benari James, who battles for that rebound there, tips it away, so Johan can pull it out. I think he's going to be key if Indy has a chance to come back here in this fourth quarter.
I definitely agree, and that's one thing about this Indy team. While they may be inconsistent at times, what they do have firepower. And if they can get some of those three-point shooters going, get Red going inside, something like that. What's going to be key for them, we know they have the firepower. Are they going to be able to get enough stops down the stretch to kind of come back from this?
You see Benari with his hands on his head right there. That was not the sequence he hoped for. Good defense from Outlaw. Prevented him from connecting on that end, and he was a little late getting back down the court to stop Keel Huber. Had to foul him. Just a first foul on Benari. There is Akil Huber, the Hawaiian Flyer, 6'4". That's the first free throw to go. Subs coming in the game. Huber averaging 4.8 points per game this season, and he's shooting about 52% from the field. He's been a nice rotational piece for this Best Coast squad.
He's got great hair to boot.
And he's got very good hair. Good. Well, final seconds here, third quarter. West Coast on top. We have an upset to let everybody in on. Lone Star, who have been struggling of late, just been defeated by the North. Not a great year for the North. The wins have been hard to come by, but they picked up a big one tonight, knocking off Lone Star in pretty convincing fashion. Ooh, half-court heave. Dangerous. Drew Iron wouldn't go, but the home team's still up by 8 here. They've been up by 8 or 10 for a lot of this way. Can Indy close it down with 1 quarter remaining?
Playing jazz.
Playing jazz.
Smoothie.
Making smoothie.
Calendar.
No meetings today. Remember, tandläkare at 9:30.
Fire off.
Fire off.
Open door.
Door open.
Så ska vi sätta en till.
Ja. Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Open door.
Repeat that.
Open door.
I didn't understand that.
Hey, open door.
Play on the floor.
Get over the floor. Open the door.
Wrong
Open the door.
command. Error.
Hey there, with a rock. Open door. Open door.
Higher volume. Higher.
All right, and we rejoined this game in progress. Sorry, we missed a possession there. We had a little technical glitch with the feed. Barkley James didn't glitch, however. He hit a corner 3, and this lead is down to 5. This is the closest it's been since the first half. Oh, and look at this defense. Turnover. Novajovic comes up with it, and up the other way comes Indy. Chance to make this a one-possession game if they can score here.
And Novajovic has had some timely plays on offense and defense tonight.
Oh.
There's another one.
Use Rezared's big body to work around and work free of his defender. Get the bucket. 3-point game a minute into the fourth quarter.
And that's what we're talking about. We know they have the firepower. Could they get those stops on defense, which they've been able to in the last couple of possessions?
Oh! I mentioned earlier, Huber was a leaper of some ability, and you just saw it right there. I think he jumped from Diamond Head on that one. That was pretty dramatic. That's a highlight reel there. Hopefully we can get that up on Discord later. People might need to see that one. It was really needed for Best Coast, too, after that game had been cut to 3. Like they got the crowd and the wind back behind them.
Did he have to do that in front of Miss Red? She didn't need to see that.
Nice interior passing, but the shot clock about out here. Huber from deep. Can't get it to go.
And here we go, Indy Stripes. They got another chance to cut it to a one-possession game.
Barkley gets it into Red, and that's just too easy.
Great move.
Great move by Red. Once again, recognize the defense, recognize what he had on him, and that he could beat his defender there. Long jump. Yeah, and that's tough right there, but it restores a 5-point lead.
In Indy Stripes, they keep getting it to a one possession, but they can't seem to kind of make that strike to tie it up or even take a lead. And I think what they need to do is the same thing that we've been talking about. That's been working. Noah Jovic has been working for him as well, so maybe just go to him. But go to Rezared inside. If he gets doubled, kick it out. But I think the bigger thing here is there's a lot of ways they can score. We know that. The big thing here and what gave them the chance to cut it to one possession a couple of times were stops on defense. They have to keep getting stops on defense, especially in this situation, because if Best Coast starts to run away with it again, there is still 5.5 minutes at this moment, but eventually that time is going to kind of start running out if they can't get consecutive stops. That's the big thing. One stop is great. You got to get consecutive stops to come back from the deficit.
Best Coast led comfortably for most of this game, but relatively sparse crowd here tonight at the Levanchi Center. Nervous for their hometown side. Definitely have a contest on their hands. An always scrappy Indy team. And to Coach Javad Storm's credit, they have seemed to turn up the defense, particularly here in the second half.
Yeah, that's what they got to do against the team, and it's this Best Coast team is very good, and a lot of that contributes from LDO. That being said, we talked about it earlier in the game, they don't have a second guy who can kind of create his own offense. And for that reason, at times, it is easier to step up defense against a team if there's really not a second shot creator. Because if you can find a way to kind of at least slow LDO down or trip him up, you've got, that's really all you need. That's the formula. Ooh.
Oh, that was drawn up well. Credit Coach Storm for that. Ended up in Romanowski's hands for an easy tip in. And this lead is 3 again. Indy has not been able to get it closer, and they'd like to get a stop here to give them a chance to. Nice defense and not much ball movement from Best Coast.
No, and that's another thing. I'm wondering where the offensive scheme is, and sometimes having a guy as good. Ooh, there's some nice shot creation.
That was Wright Johnson got it done there, but I don't love too many Best Coast possessions where LBO doesn't touch the ball.
I was about to say the same thing, and I think that having a player as great and as multifaceted as LBO at times can be a little bit of an Achilles heel, because what do you do if you're not going through him? That's something that at times this season, and one, baby. But that's something that's plagued them at times throughout this season, is not necessarily knowing what to do if it's not running through LDO. In the last couple possessions, they've done just fine without him even touching the ball. But that is not something that's consistently been something they can do this season.
Tough offense to defense sequence here for Indy. Ill-advised outside shot from White Williams. Turned into that possession there. Third foul on Rezared, and a 3-point play completed, and the lead back up to 8.
Yeah, right now, this is the run that's going to matter because they don't have that much time left. So now they've got to score. Barkley James with a great jumper there, but the consecutive stops have to come now.
Dio just going to run this offensive possession, and sure, he's involved this time. It's it into Mullins, who has Romanowski on him. Ooh, nice jump fake there, and look what it ends up in. Oh boy, what a play from Mullins. I think he set that entire thing up with that little pump fake. Romanowski rolling on the balls of his feet and just get to him. Wow. You've had some highlights in this game, Pooch.
Talk about the Aaron Gordon comparison. Looks like AG in that dunk contest on that one. Oh my God, put him on a poster. Him and Akil Uber just put on some weenie boxes. This game.
The other end, Romanowski got good position, but he couldn't finish his shot.
Give it to him again. Let's see another one.
Let's see. He's got a clear out with Romanowski going on. Ooh, nice hands. Almost swatted it away, and he has to give it up, but Dio finds a wide open shooter. 3 is good. 11-point lead restored. Dre Ryder nailing the corner jumper.
Yeah,
Lead had been three on multiple occasions. Now, with 3 minutes left, it's still 9 points that they got to claw back.
They just couldn't quite get the consecutive stops they needed. Anytime that they had it down to one possession, West Coast Ballerz was able to get a bucket.
Rookie jumper there from Ryder. Really quiet game overall from Dre, but it's some nice minutes. Crunch time here down the stretch. Reza Red. You can end up with a decent stat line when this is all over. Oh, but look at that. He just got lost there.
Another one. Another poster dunk. Right in front of his mother. How rude.
Well, Reza was just way too late getting up the court. Angie Newman knew it, exploited it, dunked over him when he did get there. We're up on 2 minutes to play.
For the most part, Benari James has been kind of held in check tonight.
Just that 3. Really use that Indy. Now let's see if West Coast slows things down here any. They got a comfortable lead. Just need the seconds tick off the clock. LDO's jumper wouldn't go.
They are not gonna slow it down.
Coach Murray wants. Okay. Oh, nice find.
Look. Hey, it's not over till the fat man thing. That's what they say. Oh.
It's not. It's not. But I think he's warming up. Uh-oh. That may have put the exclamation point on it right there. Minute 29 to go. Double-digit lead restored.
And they've hit the magic number. You can call this one. They have. Get the buses started. Let's get out of here.
It'll be a long flight back to Indy. If Law picks up the foul there, that is going to send Benari to the line. But don't know that Indy has a lot in the playbook they can call up to erase an 11-point deficit with just about a minute, a few seconds to go.
The only play here, pick and roll. Barkley James in the corner. Reza Red setting the screen for Benari. Open 3 in the corner. 4 of them in a row. That's
Reggie Miller style.
Yep. That's the game plan here.
Well, Lace Darius Outlaw didn't have a 30-point game tonight or anything like that, but he was impressive. He started red hot, grabbed this lead for West Coast, which they never surrendered.
Nope, they controlled this game all the way through. Indy Stripes had the chance a couple times to make that strike that we talk about. They kept it within striking distance, but just couldn't get those consecutive stops late in the game.
Well, they will rue their missed chances. Had it down to 3, multiple occasions. 3 with the ball in hand, opportunity to cut it further. Could have even tied it up, just couldn't quite get it done. This shot there, I look for some quick points on this end. You can't take time on this possession is the key. James has it. Oh, nice find. Oh, but look at the defense from Azure. Wow. Oh. That really should do it. It looks like Indy is not going to foul here.
Nope, they're gonna take it like a champ. They know this one's over.
Recognize the reality of their situation and only foul after Mullins is 2 feet from the hoop.
Oh, boy. Well, Mullins had some highlight plays tonight. Looked like himself. You always look forward to seeing those from him.
Did you give him a personal player of the game nod, Siege? Mullins over Outlaw tonight? Hey, Landon Quilton had some nice minutes too, by the way.
No, I think I would still give it to LDO, but I'll say that Mullins maybe had the play of the game. Him or that dunk from Akil Uber. One of the two of them. Maybe co-plays of the game. Those were insane.
Mullins, one more chance. Just getting word in, the Bad Boys have just lost Sumo Chapa of Gulf Coast, hitting a game winner. His time expired. Big shot for him, big win for Gulf Coast. This is a nice win for sure here on the home court for Best Coast tonight. Best is gonna see their record improve to 17-7 as they fight in that ultra-competitive Pacific Rim division. A place at the top. Not quite the night that Javad Storm wanted for his Indy stripes, and they're going to fall to 10-14. The competitive Frontier division. Well, thanks for being with us for these 2 games tonight. I remind you one last time that we are coming back SimWorld TV on the holiday, on the 4th of July. You get your cookout going before you end up seeing your fireworks. Make sure to come. Check us out here on YouTube. And us on Discord. We're going to be tipping off at 12 noon, Gotham 5, Run DMV. For tonight, and for my own good self, Ilava, my broadcasting partner, Siege, Roniel, and everybody here at SimWorld, thank you for being with us. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the 4th.
Hey, Miss Red, wait up.